Hello, my name is Ayumi of yescards.org. I make Christian greeting cards. This is my first vlog. I will introduce myself as it's courtesy. So how these greeting cards came to be. 3.5 years ago I got married and I made the card invitation designs and things like that. It looked like this. These are the originals. And things like this. And notice these characters all have auras around them. I went to church, my husband and I went to church, and I considered myself a Christian then, but we went to church about 8 months prior to the wedding. I didn't know that Jesus was God after going to church. But anyway, so my mother-in-law saw the invitation cards and she said, why don't you make them into greeting cards? She liked them. I said, okay, well, maybe. And shortly after the wedding, very shortly after the wedding, gave birth to a very cute little baby. And so yeah, the wedding was like this. And what happened then? A few months on, I went through a panic attack. I was very, very scared. Let's see. The reason why I went through a 16-hour panic attack, and it lasted that long, and it was a huge, significant event, so big that I wrote everything down and I calculated how many hours that was and things like that. The reason why I felt that scared was Islam. Incidentally, I watched a video. I used to live in London, and I watched a video, came across a very short compilation of raw footage of a Muslim invasion of Europe. So there were CCTV camera footage of gang rape, phone camera footage of people shouting, Allahu Akbar, we're going to conquer Europe through breeding, and all sorts of just intense raw footage all in one. And one of the reasons I got really, really scared about it is a few years prior, I just moved to England. So my life going back, in the first 13 years of my life, I lived with 7 different families, 3 different continents, 4 different countries, had a very exciting life, and as on one hand it was amazing, really exciting, on the other hand I was a true international citizen. I didn't have a home. So my mom's Japanese, my dad's English, so I went back and forth and lived in Alaska and Singapore and things like that. And so I felt in my heart that I didn't really belong anywhere, and so there was something in me that really wanted a root. So when I moved to America, I felt that America was the place that you can choose to become an American, and you could choose to make that your home, which I did. And so I put my roots after being uprooted and rerouted again and again. I finally decided to put my roots down in America, and shortly after that, my brother who lives in London got ill. So I came to London, and after a year of quite intense experience, I decided to reroot myself in London. I said, okay, this is going to be my home. So when I saw the video, and when I was feeling in London that sense of invasion, some people might not call it that, but there is that element. And when I felt it, I felt like I finally put down roots, and I felt that that was going to be taken away. I really, really feared that that was going to be taken away. Also, at the same time, I had a 2-month-old daughter, and I feared for her future. And so I went into a panic attack. I was just really, really scared. And during that panic attack, I sought Jesus. I said, "Are you real?" I didn't know he was God. I thought, I had all these different ideas in my head. If you're real, I really need help. Are you real? Prove it to me. I need proof. And so I whispered it under my breath. And that's when that 16 hours sort of almost started. And so what happened was, I won't be that long. I wrote it all down if you want to read about it. It's on my blog. But essentially what I realized was that God is infinite. All we're doing is counting. So that I realized that there was this parallel line, an enormous unfillable gap between us mortals and the immortal. And it was a mystery. And so I sort of took a leap of faith and said, if you're real, catch me. And I didn't think he would catch. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, but I hoped. And so what happened was I landed on a rock, and it was it's solid. It's as solid as diamond. It's more solid than concrete. I landed on a rock. And since that time, things have gradually changed. The Holy Spirit has come inside of me, and things have changed so much. Which is when I was incidentally also looking for a source of income that I could somehow work from home. And I thought, greeting cards. And this is the first design that I did. It's standing on a rock. And so Jesus has been very, very instrumental. He's my God. Completely changed me. And going back to Islam, I would like to share with you a story. In my early 20s, I went to India and I got lost. We'd arrived at the house. It was night time. I was thirsty. It was hot. I was wearing shorts. I took just enough money to buy a bottle of water. I crossed the street to the shop, and it was literally across the street, but I still got lost. And while I was walking, a man was following me, and so I immediately went towards where the light was, where the people were. This was in Bangalore. And I crossed the big street, and I saw that the man had sort of disappeared. I got on an auto rickshaw, and I told the rickshaw driver, the only thing I remember about where this house was next to a police station. So I asked him to go to a police station, all the police stations that he knew. So we went around looking for police stations. It was getting late. I didn't have money. The driver was getting anxious, and we were talking at a red light. A motorcycle driver who was right next to us heard what we were saying, and he intervened and said, "What's going on?" He paid for the auto rickshaw driver, and he said, "Hop onto the back of my motorcycle." And I would have said no if this was a car, but because it was a motorcycle, I thought, okay, if anything goes wrong, I could hop off. I'm going to jump off. And so I said, okay, I've got no choice. I'll get on it. And he said the only reason why he's helping me is because of Allah. He was a Muslim. And he said he cannot take me to his village, but he can go around with me looking for the place where, looking for police stations. We couldn't find it. Eventually he paid for my hotel, and in the hotel I found a phone book, looked at the police station, I phoned, and thankfully my friend had called the police, and they knew who I was when I made the phone call. So I was safe, and so the next day the Muslim man was going to come back to me, and we were going to still go around, and I bet you he would have come with a long skirt or something. He was, I really wanted to say thank you, so I called him, and as soon as I said police, he hung up the phone, and I couldn't contact him again. So I have it in my heart that I want to give back to this person. How can I do that? I'm a born again Christian now, and the thing is that ironically, I don't know, is it an irony? I'm not sure, but it's in my heart to communicate with Muslim people, which I have been doing, and it's been quite it's been beautiful. It's been really, really nice. And I might talk about it some other video, I'm not sure, but so I guess that's enough of an introduction. I'm at escards.org. Please support me. Lots more products coming out this year, 2019 almost. It's going to be an exciting year. And thank you for watching. Bye.